Hello, welcome Solex Nation. We are coming to the end of July, and with that comes a very important announcement.
Already? So July's incentive, the enrollment incentive it's actually really easy. It is if you place a successful order at enrollment to become a QLA, you get that enrollment, the membership fee waived. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
No, and we've had quite a few people take advantage of this incentive, and it's a great month to become a QLA. Now, what else is different in July?
Well, in July, so we have our quarterly incentive,
Yes.
our Enroll 3 and 6. What I mean by that, if you haven't heard that before, if you enroll 3 preferred customers or QLAs in the quarter, that's July, August, and September, if they enroll with a bundle and the AO Scan subscription, then you will get an extra $100 bonus on top of that if you do that within the quarter, and their subscription successfully transacts, right?
He has to say it.
I have to do all the rules. If you do that with 6, you get an additional $250, making the total $350.
And that's on top of your liftoff bonuses, on top of your direct bonuses, all the other things that come with that. That's an additional $350. But what happens if you get 6 in July?
Okay, just to make things even hotter in July, right?
Not harder, hotter.
Hotter. Yes, it is. If you do all 6 in this month, we will double that to $700. Now, all the rules still apply. All the same parts that I just explained are in effect. But we make it even one step. Like if it can't get crazy by doubling it to $700
in cash,
what we'll do actually is if you elect for store credit, Solex store credit, we will double it again. That's $1,400 in Solex store credit.
Are we insane?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What a great month to be here and be involved and to join, and no cost. I didn't mention, if you have anybody that's a preferred customer and is interested in becoming a QLA, they actually can take advantage of that as well. They do have to call into customer service and place the successful order.
Yeah, but it could be for
a ring. It could be anything simple.
Just place an order. If you're an existing PC, call into customer support with that order, and then we will upgrade you to a QLA.
So hopefully I got that clear. I have been asked, okay, can you explain to me one more time, what is the deal in July? That's it, $1,400 is on the table.
That's right. All right, we have a brand new course that is launching right now. It is now active on Solex University, and it is an inner voice course. Let's take a look.
Let's get ready to go. This is a page from your book, Your Mind to the Scanner. It will be an ongoing journey as you first discover and then hold on to emotional balance. When we acknowledge our emotional challenges, we're better equipped to process, learn, and eventually grow from them. Lifestyle changes or the application of this knowledge will bring empowerment as we work each and every day to overcome the factors that influence our emotional well-being. In order to dive deep into each profile and to define them, I'll narrow down each of them with some of these. First, I'll go into the negative extreme, then look at the positive, and finally, kind of dive into what balance looks like. Don't get hung up on the negative or feel that only the negative emotions apply to you. Only you can decide what and where there is meaning. Step outside your comfort zone and change them all. Change your emotional home. Change your focus. Change your meanings. Change your stories. Change your life. I'm Denise Ackley. Step into the next level of your life.
This course is amazing. It's a deep dive into inner voice. It is $99 for the course, and it comes with a live workbook. What does that mean?
Yeah, that means that as Denise continues to do research and connect parts of emotions with inner voice and different parts of the scanner, she's actually going to be updating that book. So, if you buy the course and you clear through that course and you download the book and you've read everything, you've done everything, and then in 6 months she uploads a new version of that, you'll actually see the course change. You won't be complete yet. You'll have to go back and complete the course again. that doesn't mean it's a headache for you. Hopefully you are buying the course because you love the topic.
That's right.
And the instructor, Denise, is a wealth of knowledge. She's been around the scanner for years and years. And knows
she has
what
a
she's
big
talking
scanner.
about.
Before the little mobile device came out, she had the big $38,000 scanner at her house. So she knows what she is talking about. You will enjoy this course so much. So go check it out. All right, one last announcement. Last month, if you participated in the incentive, when you spent $500, you got a $250 credit. When you spent $250, you got a $100 credit. Just a reminder that those credits expire at the end of July. So you must use those credits by the end of July.
Yeah, that's a great chance. If you took advantage of that, that's a great savings out there. I've seen a lot of people use them,
Yes.
but there's still a lot on the table. So just don't forget about them. We just want to make sure you remember.
And I have an idea. You can use yours towards a Day of Discovery ticket. If you have not yet bought your Day of Discovery ticket, we want to see you there. I'm going to say that the biggest thing that we have ever done with this scanner is happening at Day of Discovery.
That's no small statement. We've done a lot of big things, but you're right.
This is the biggest.
It will be a massive change, a big update, and you will be excited that you were there. In addition to that, we have an incredible keynote speaker coming.
Yeah, we have an incredible keynote speaker. We will talk more about him later, but you'll want to be there. Am I right?
Yeah, join us.
Yes.
Come out September 13th and 14th, right here in Utah, just in Provo. We'd love to have you. Love to have you have the fun that we enjoy when we are at this event.
That's right. Okay, let's talk about our top enrollers. Our top enrollers for last week, it is July 8th through the 14th. And we do have a tie for second place. The first person in second place is Paige Wheeler. She is like every week on top enrollers.
Yeah.
Doing a great job.
And the person tied with her, I'm going to do my very best. Please excuse me, but it's Yue Hua Fully Love.
That is better than I could have done. Yes.
Is that,
Congratulations.
I hope I said that right. I did the best I could.
You both tied for second place. Congratulations.
Beautiful
And then our first place winner is Dr. Darlene Lobo. First place.
Yeah.
You have earned a Solex silver coin, and we said this recently, but they really are going to be gone soon. And so congratulations. You snagged one. You are now in our legacy group, and great job for this last week.
Now, on the call, we have a guest.
We did, and we asked her if she would pull the names for the contest this week, and she graciously said yes. So let's turn the time over to her.
Hi, I'm Lesley. I am so excited. I came here to visit Solex Corporate, and they asked me to draw the contest winner. So I get to draw today. There are a lot of people who answered last week's question, so we're gonna have 3 winners of the AO tune. So last week's question was, what is your AO Scan wish list? So we're gonna pull the first person. And whoop, that is Lisa Murray Creets. I would love frequencies for naturopathic remedies, and also example Rhodelia, as also for mushrooms, lion's mane, and ashwagandha. My focus right now is the nervous system support, lowering cortisol, and deeper sleep. Loving all the choices we already have. I'm a new user and already having great success. Thank you. So Lisa, you are the first winner. Second one is Dawn Dugan. I would love to have the flowers able to broadcast to the person. I work a lot on family long distance and I can't imprint anything at the time for them, or I have to go out and add to a Sephi playlist. I love using the flowers for negative emotions. And then our third winner is the Breakthrough Club 22. So if we don't know who you are, please reach out and let us know. I would love to see some type of description or by symptoms in the homeoenergetics. Deb has done a great job in describing what they are for in the last few calls, but some of the names are not common knowledge. For example, Camus C plus or Babista tincturina, I have no idea what they are used for, so I have to do a separate search and try to work out how to best support whoever I'm scanning. Thank you, Solex. So congratulations to our winners, and your AO tune will be sent out to you.
I am here with the wonderful Daryl Roberts. If you have been with us for a while, if you were here at Day of Discovery last year, then you know how amazing this man is. If you are new here, then you're in for a treat today. Daryl, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I would love it if you could explain a little bit about your background and what you do.
Sure, I'm a naturopathic doctor. Right now I'm working out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been doing some sort of naturopathy, health coaching, natural health work for about the last decade or so.
Oh, wow.
And I love what I do.
That's amazing. How did you stumble upon AO Scan?
I was at a conference, a completely different conference, and Sheila Day was giving a demonstration, and it caught my attention, and I started asking questions, and she ended up giving me a scan that day, and she sent it to me, and I stayed up all night long in my hotel room, and I was observing the scan and looking over, and then I did a deep dive into Solex, and within 6 hours of the next day, I was signed up.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what scan did she do?
She ended up doing the Easy Scan.
Okay.
And she sent me the Easy Scan, and I believe that the Easy Scan had in it the Excel spreadsheets for all of them. And I started pouring through it, and I was only ever going to use inner voice. That was my whole thought process, my goal. I do a lot with sound therapy, and I deal with emotional balancing and things, and we use sounds. And so that's the thing that really got my attention. This creates custom sound therapy that you could utilize in order to bring about balance. And so when I started looking at what more it could do, I realized very quickly that it wasn't going to just be the inner voice portion, and I ended up expanding it to all. But for me, the custom tones, that was enough to justify the subscription.
Yes.
Because I was already doing something inferior to that, and now this just allowed me to allow the system to do it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you were already practicing as a naturopathic doctor,
Yes.
and then you were introduced to AO Scan. How did that change your business?
Well, it allowed me to explain sound therapy, or allow AO to explain sound therapy. Most of the people that I deal with, they already have a concept of sound therapy, because I deal with different frequencies and solfeggio frequencies and Rife frequencies. And the way that I was doing it prior to that, they were listening to the specific sounds and tones. And I don't know if you've ever heard of a Rife. Have you heard of Rife frequencies?
I have.
And have you heard them?
I don't think I have.
They are very difficult to listen to.
Really?
Very, very jarring on the ear.
Yeah.
There's no pleasure that you're going to get out of listening to a Rife frequency. But with AO, I was able to take those same frequencies and broadcast them while allowing them inner voice, and they could listen to something that's more appealing to the ear. So prior to that, my clients were very upset over the specific frequencies that I'd have them listen to, but now I'm sending them nice, soothing frequencies that they could listen to and hear, and I'm in the background sending Cephis, and we're just creating magic.
That's amazing. So they're calm and peaceful, and they're totally having the scanner work. You're having the scanner work for them.
Yes, absolutely.
And maybe with them not even realizing what's going on in the background.
They don't and they don't care, because now they get something pleasant to listen to.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So do you send your clients all of the reports that you run?
No. So as a naturopathic doctor, I think it's important for me to run all of the different scans. I do the Easy Scan. Sometimes I'm doing vitals. Well, the Easy Scan is vitals and a modified comprehensive, and all of the inner voice and the quick scan things. And so I do that, and I'm analyzing these things in the background. That's how I determine what Cephis I'm going to use, what imprints I'm going to use, whether or not there's an overall change in the body. But what I do is I send my clients to inner voice, because I soon realized that inner voice literally has everything that the client needs in order to bring complete balance.
Yes.
It has the emotional standpoint, and if each note that is out of balance, because they're going to get 4, each one of those has something in there that shows you what body systems are supported from that note. You get to know what the in and out of expression of emotional balance is in that particular note. And then you go down to the vitals, where you get to see what some of the 1s and 9s are from the comprehensive. 1s and 9s meaning things that have higher range or lower range of vibration. And so you get to see some of those, but you get to see the ones that are specifically tied to that note. Now, as a person who has been dealing with sound therapy for a while, I know that sound, when you hear a specific frequency, the brain is able to register, and the brain is able to do things with that frequency that has an effect on the nervous system, or the digestive system, or the vitals, or your spine. All of these things are contained inside of that note. So from my standpoint, when I send my clients the inner voice scan, I'm giving them everything that they need in order to understand the balances or imbalances in their body, along with the medicine that they need in order to bring about balance to all of those things.
I love that. You know, we talk about so much about how inner voice is just an emotion balancer, but you believe there's a lot more to it.
Emotions are one aspect of our human experience. It's an important aspect of the human experience, but it has a global effect on the body. So when you're dealing with somebody who is anxious, you know, that person tends to release a lot of urine, and the bladder meridian tends to be out a lot. And the emotional expression of fear is urinary things, kidneys, bladder, right? And so that's a specific frequency. And so what came first? Does the bladder cause anxiety? Does anxiety cause the bladder? It doesn't really matter because the frequency for them both is the same. So the balancing frequency for them both is the same. And so while I do respect the emotional aspect of inner voice, because the emotions are absolutely key, and that's what most people resonate with.
Yes.
The reality is, when you bring the emotions into balance, you bring about global balance of the body. But the reality also is, if you bring about a global balance to the body, you also will balance the emotions. It just depends on which perspective you're looking.
That is amazing. I never considered that. You were telling me earlier too why it's so important to do vitals with inner voice.
Yeah, so you have two different ways you can do it. You can do an inner voice without vitals, and that's good because it will allow you to see the emotional state of the person. And it really does just deal with the emotions. And again, balancing the emotions is key. But when you click on the vitals one and you are running vitals, you will run a complete vitals. A lot of people don't know this. You run a complete vitals and you also get the balancing of those vitals. But there are still ones and nines in there that you're not necessarily seeing. Well, you are, because they're showing up in the vitals portion of the inner voice report. So when you look at the 4 notes that are the highest from, or the highest and lowest from the average, when you look at the vitals inside of that, you're looking at the 1s and the 9s as they are affected and associated with that same note. So if vitamin B comes up in the first one, and vitamin B comes up in the third one, and vitamin B comes up in the fourth one, you're looking at it from a whole different perspective than you might from vitals. Because on vitals, you might just see vitamin B, right?
Right.
But now you're saying it's affecting 3 areas of the 4 areas that are out of balance.
That is so interesting.
And it gives it more weight.
That is so interesting. And you can do the work right there.
Absolutely.
With your inner voice tones.
You can put on your inner voice tones, and you are listening to the balancing frequencies, particularly when you use that pulse one. You can listen to the balancing frequencies that's designed to bring balance to everything on those 4 reports. And if vitamin B still comes up after that, you might need some vitamin B.
I was going to say, then you actually take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you explain inner voice to somebody who is brand new to this?
Well, I let them know I'm going to need a voice note from them. So I have them either speak it directly to me, or most of my clients are virtual, so they're sending it through a platform that I use.
Yeah.
And I have them send about 15 seconds because I know that people, they speak and they think that this is 10 seconds, but it's not.
Yes.
So I have them speak a little bit longer than that so I can at least get the 10 seconds that I need. And I tell them that this system is going to analyze their voice. And out of all of the notes that are coming out of us when we speak, it will find the frequencies that are the furthest and from balance in either direction, the 3 that are the highest and the 1 that is the lowest. And it will analyze those notes and show you what vitals associated with those notes are most out of balance. And then you'll get this particular report and we'll go through it. I usually go through the first one with them and then I show them similarities in the 4 notes. But you know what I tell them that I think has been most impactful?
What?
I let them know that you don't really have to analyze this report because you have two different types of people. One type is like me. I want to analyze. And you have other types that they just want to know what to do.
Yes.
And I let them know if that is you,
Yeah.
this is what you need to do. You need to push 10 minutes at least, and then click that pulse. Use headphones or something that's going to have, over your head or over your ears, and just sit back and listen to those tones and allow the tones to balance everything out.
Actually, I really like that advice because I have seen people get upset when they see their reports. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had somebody say, that's not me. That's not what I'm feeling?
Yeah. So I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
And I've been doing different types of biofeedback and bioresonance, and so some of that information I can just bring on in. And one of the things that I know, I utilize, I'm a meridian therapist, so I do a lot of meridian therapy. And inside of the meridians are a host of different emotions as well. And so sometimes people will look at that and they'll say, well, that's not me because it says anger, and I am not an angry person. Well, the reality is, in biofeedback, and AO is no different, it's looking to bring balance. So you do have those personality types that let everyone walk all over them.
Yeah.
And they let everyone get over on them, and they don't ever stand up to themselves or for themselves. For those personality types, anger will balance you.
Oh.
And so if something isn't resonating with them at all, it's usually because they feel that it's the exact opposite of them.
Okay.
And very often it's because they need that in order to bring balance. That's all we're ever looking to do, is bring balance.
Yeah, that
and
totally
so we
makes
have to
sense.
look at it from a different standpoint there.
Do you ever see emotions come up in people and they say, hold on a second, that's not me. I'm not experiencing that. Do you ever dig deeper and maybe their child is experiencing that or their spouse is experiencing that and it shows up in the reports? Is that a thing?
It's a thing, and sometimes they don't realize that it's a thing. But you take on the frequency of that's all around you.
Yeah.
You know, this is the reason why if you go to a funeral, you don't necessarily have to know the person.
Yeah, you're right.
But the energy in the room
Yep.
is contagious. And you now will end up with the frequencies that are in the room. And I would imagine if you did an AO scan, you would have a lot of fear or sadness that came up inside of you because you're dealing with that vibration. You also have people who work in hospitals, and they will have things that show up on their scans that they deal with. It's not necessarily them. Diseases or other things that they've been exposed to. So sometimes you have to look deeper, but the reality is sometimes people don't want to look that deep into
you're
it.
right.
Because you have so many areas you can go. There's cellular memory. There's so many things that it could be. And sometimes we don't need to know why
No, you're right.
that's happening. We just need to balance it out.
All right, let's get a little crazy here, kind of go a little bit off track, but I want to hear what you say to this. We talked earlier about an experience that I had, and I kind of want to share with everyone else. You said cellular memory, and we talked about experiences that we've had in the past and how it affects us today. So last week, I was in a store, and somebody had me smell a candle. She said, "Smell this, doesn't it smell so good?" And I smelled it, and I immediately was transported back 26 years to when I was pregnant with my first child, and I was so sick with morning sickness. And that same candle is what was in the background. That's what I smelled. And so last week, obviously, I'm not sick. I'm not pregnant. I don't have the same illness. But when I smelled that candle, my stomach completely rolled, and I had a little wave of nausea. How does that happen?
So everything that we're experiencing, right now, we are having a unique experience. And there is a frequency exchange between you and I. There's a frequency exchange between us and the audience. And there is a frequency that's happening in this room. And whatever is happening in the room while this is happening is part of the experience, it's part of the frequency, it's part of the memory. So while you were experiencing that nausea, while you were experiencing that discomfort, you also experience a specific smell. And your body and your mind didn't take these as independent situations. It put it all together in one frequency of sorts. And when you experience any aspect of that frequency, the entire frequency is now happening again.
Okay.
And so when you experience the smell, even though it was, you said 26 years ago?
Yeah.
Even though it was 26 years ago, that time span is irrelevant because the frequency is still there.
Still in my brain.
And it came back full circle. Now you're experiencing the fullness of that frequency, and the experience that you had associated with that frequency is back like it was yesterday.
How do I fix it? I don't want to smell that candle and feel sick.
Well, I don't know the frequency that your body gave.
Yes.
So I don't know the balancer to that.
Great answer.
However, if you were to hold that frequency in your mind while you're doing scans, then that frequency becomes part of what's happening in your experience as you're being scanned. And if you do that, listen to your inner voice, do some of the sound therapies that might show up from that. Do some of the Cephis that might show up from that. You might end up with a completely different experience later. And you can create, how we can go into our scanners and we can create our own therapies. We can,
Yes.
so you can, it's quantum entanglement. We can create whatever we want inside of there.
Yes.
So if you really want to experience that, you can create specific playlists that are associated with whatever your experience is, utilizing words, trigger words, even that particular smell, if you
Yeah.
can find that out.
I know what it is.
Okay, so you can go in there and you can start finding things that when you have a specific modality that comes up, and in this particular modality, it could theoretically be that smell,
Yes.
right? Then start looking also at what else came up with it. What else showed up in your quick scan, if you did
Yep.
an easy scan or if you just did a quick scan. What else showed up in there in order to balance that out? What homeopathics showed up?
Oh, interesting.
How does your inner voice now look? Whenever you see that thing that popped up, I would then look at the rest of that scan to see where the clues are in there for you to help to find your own balancer.
What do you think sets inner voice apart from everything else, from everything on the scanner and maybe even other modalities that are out there?
Yeah, great question. Inner voice is the one report that I've seen from not just the AO Scan, but from all of the biofeedback companies that I've seen that tackles every aspect of it along with a treatment plan. I consider the pulse cycle a treatment plan. And so when you are looking at the vitals and you are looking at the pulse cycle, those frequencies are specifically designed for the emotional state that you were in when you spoke, along with the vitals that were out of balance when you spoke. So what a lot of people might not know is you can go in there and you can play with the volume and you can play with the particular sound that comes out. But on the right side, there's another bar. And if you turn the left volume down and just listen to the right, that's what I call the sugar that helps the medicine go down. Well, I call the music the sugar that helps the medicine go down. Because when you lower that, what you hear is the pure frequency, and that's the medicine. And that medicine is specifically designed for you. It will not be the same the next time you do it. It will not be the same when someone else does it. Every other system, every other modality that deals with biofeedback, especially something that puts a treatment in, everybody is going to get the same thing. Not only do you get something different with the inner voice scan, you even get something different every time you do the inner voice scan. Nobody can meet that.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us and your wisdom. And I promise you that you will see Daryl again in the very near future. And we just appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, my name is Lesley Zwick, and I wanted to share with you today some of the reasons why I love inner voice. I use my inner voice every single day, at least once a day, if not 2 or 3 times a day. And it is the staple around what I do. So actually, I want to take you through a little bit of how my day looks, because one of the things that I hear from people so frequently is that they don't know how to fit it into their day or how to fit it into their life. So I've really created my habits, my routine around things that I was already doing. So I start my day every day with an easy scan that gives me my inner voice, and I run it as I'm walking out the door to go for my walk, and I put it in my ears, and that's my time, first thing in the morning that I'm listening to my inner voice. And I've actually combined using my inner voice with the MindSync, which I'll talk about in a minute as to how I do that and why I do that. But I have been doing this for a really long time, even before MindSync came out, using my inner voice every single morning. And I have noticed in my life, just by starting my day that way, that I'm more productive, my anxiety is down, my thoughts are clearer, my focus is better. It just completely shifts my entire day. And I notice when I don't do it, I can tell the difference. I can feel the difference. And then I end my day exactly the same way. Before I go to bed, I re-record my inner voice. I lay down and I listen to it for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Some nights I actually sleep with it in all the way through, and I sleep much more soundly. I feel more rested. I relax much faster. All the hubbub of the day that's been going on, it just sort of settles and melts away. So this has really, really, really been a game changer in my life. And not only in my life, it's been a game changer for my entire family. I want to share with you really quickly about my daughter. I have 3 kids. And my eldest, who struggles with some anxiety and some other things, she has found that this is a game changer in her life. And she listens to her inner voice every single day, very consistently. And we have seen through this some actual physical medical changes that have happened through the consistent use of inner voice. So where I know for me, it's more of the mental and emotional pieces, I also know that using it consistently is helping the body heal, helping my body heal, helping her body heal in ways that we never even would have realized. So it's really, really been a powerful tool. Now, I also want to come back to what I talked about with MindSync. MindSync is up there. I have several favorite things in the AO Scan system. Inner Voice and MindSync, though, are the top 2. When somebody is brand new coming on and they ask me, where do I start? I always tell them to start with Inner Voice and MindSync together. Why do I say this? 1, we know what Inner Voice does. We know that it levels you out. It brings you back into balance. It helps you feel better energetically. It helps you feel better emotionally. And it starts to help the body heal. MindSync helps you actually use affirmations in a correct way. How many of you have ever tried to use affirmations and use them over and over and over again and not seen any results? That was me for a very long time. I was the queen of affirmations, but they never ever came true. Why was that? They didn't come true because on a cellular level, my body didn't believe what I was saying. I heard the words, but my body was saying, that's not true, that's not true, that's a lie, that's a lie. But MindSync, the way it works, it starts to shift that and clear out those pieces so that your body can then align and say, yeah, I actually start to believe this, and it changes the talk in your head. So I knew when I started using MindSync right away, I could tell almost instantly the difference of how my thought processes were working. And then this was not my discovery, but it was discovered how to use Inner Voice and MindSync simultaneously. And that has been a game changer in my world. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your AO Scan software, and you're going to want to run your MindSync app. If you have not already run it and don't already have your MindSync recorded. So you're gonna go into MindSync, you're gonna record your affirmations. You can either use the ones that are already built in there, you can scan it and use the ones that are built in there, or you can have your own affirmations, whatever works for you. Once you run them and they're in here, you're going to hit the button at the top, the little email button, and you're gonna email them to yourself. And you're then going to download those MindSync affirmations to your phone, to your computer, to whatever device you're going to be listening to your Inner Voice and your MindSync simultaneously on. And you're going to upload them into whatever music player you use. I'm on an Android, so I use the Samsung music player, but you can do it on any device. And Spotify has it, Apple Music has it. There's a variety of ways you can just download it into there. Once you have that downloaded, you're then going to go in and either run your Easy Scan or your Inner Voice and get a new Inner Voice recording. You're going to open up the Inner Voice and you're going to start playing your Inner Voice. The key that I didn't say before, when you do your MindSync and you download it, you want to make sure that you turn the music on the MindSync down. So all you have is the tone, the flower tone, and your voice. You don't want the music behind it because then you're going to have double music. Once you have the MindSync on your device and you have your Inner Voice run, you're going to go into Inner Voice and you're going to press pulse cycle and start playing. So you hear your music and your tones. And then you're going to go to your player. And you're going to, I have my MindSync in here, I have 2 different tracks in here, and you're going to hit play.
Faster, attracting more,
and they're gonna play simultaneously.
People, attracting the people that I want.
I play my Inner Voice from the AO Scan app, and I play my MindSync that's been recorded and downloaded from my phone. And I play them exactly simultaneously, so when I go out for my morning walk or when I'm settling down at night before I go to bed, both of them are playing simultaneously, so I'm getting the effect together. The power of that Inner Voice, which is bringing my body together, it is balancing me out, it's calming my nerves, it's doing all the things, magical things that Inner Voice does. And I'm hearing my voice with all my positive affirmations and all the things that I'm working on in my life. Doing this consistently and together, I have seen huge changes in my life. My business has started to grow in ways that it never grew. Things have happened in my physical health that I had been struggling with, that all the self-talk, that all started to change. Relationships started to change. Pretty much everything that I have put into MindSync, when I use it consistently, when I do this consistently, I have seen the improvements very, very quickly.
Okay, it's contest time.
Yeah, it is.
This is when we invite you to participate with us and help everybody learn that participates in this call a little bit more about usually the scanner or one of our products. We've talked a lot about inner voice and emotions and getting those balanced and how they work within the body and how the body's health is aligned with those emotions. One of the things that if you've done inner voice, you know that with inner voice, you have to, you don't have to, you should use color therapy with it.
Yes. In fact, their inner voice report will suggest color therapy that is necessary for your body at the time.
So we have a lens that isn't part of the inner voice color therapy that actually is also part of the broader range of color therapy
Yes.
work that you could participate in. It's the rose-colored lens. That has a lot of other work around it about how it can help calm certain emotions and things like that. What I think would be valuable is if everybody commented on the call after the live chat, how have you used inner voice? What experiences have you had with inner voice? How has it changed you or a family member? And what are the benefits and improvements you've seen because of inner voice? With that, we can draw those testimonials next week and give away the rose-colored lens.
That's right. So please put your testimonial down. It helps everybody who reads it. You never know who you could be sharing this with and helping just by writing your simple testimonial. So thanks for all you do, and we will see you next week. We had a surprise guest at corporate, and so we said, hey, do you want to do the contest this week? And so let's introduce the call to her.
Okay, before we jump into the call, we actually had a guest stop by.
We did, and we asked her to do the contest for us. Let's turn the time over to her.
The octaves from their notes, or the octave or notes from their speech pattern that are out of balance.
Okay.
You do that over.
Okay.
First blooper.
Yes!
Okay,